A new Montreal transit system is soon to be released to the public. It will connect major locations in Montreal. But is this $6.9 billion project plagued by corporate interests? Local 514 investigates. I'm standing near the construction of the McGill REM station, a part of the Réseau Express métropolitain light rail transit system. There's been lots of excitement for the REM.
It's the biggest project that we've had the last 40 years, and it's much more reliable. It's automatic. The Montreal Metro passes every 5 to 10 minutes, and is even sometimes late. You can wait up to 15 minutes for a metro, but you don't have that problem with the REM. It just passes all the time.
But there's also been great critique, especially in regards to the ownership of the REM by pension fund the Caisse de dépôt et placement du Québec.
It's a public-private partnership.
You're not really going to make profits with the public transit. The CDPQ wants to make 7-8% profits with their REM, which makes absolutely no sense. They're going to have to take their money from somewhere. So what we think is that they're even going to make their profit through the contributions of municipalities and the contribution of a government of Quebec and even from government of Canada. Okay, so they're going to take that and they're going to put it back in our pension fund. That is great, but the thing we should measure the profit or the rentability by looking at the impact on their social development, economic development, and the mobility in Montreal. It's too late to scrap the whole project. I think we could maybe take the REM, we buy it, and be 100% public.
So let's understand the REM's private-public ownership. The federal government provided the REM with a forgivable loan covering 25% of the cost of the project. Another 25% of the project is owned by the Quebec government, and the rest of the 50% is owned by Canadian pension fund, the Caisse de dépôt et placement du Québec. But the Caisse owns much more than projected.
The federal contribution ended up being a forgivable loan to the Caisse. So now the Caisse owns 75%. That federal donation to the Caisse takes money out of the pockets of the local taxpayers.
The thing with we hear with the CDPQ, it's private, so we don't have transparency of the information. They want to do return on equity. They want to make profits, but the profits are not going back to the states. It's far from what our objectives are, which is like Hydro-Québec is putting back the profits directly in the states. Caisse de dépôt placement is going to put the profit in your pension fund.
The project was expected to be released to the public earlier, but they've experienced major delays. Alongside major delays is a heftier price tag. In 2021, it was announced that the REM would cost at least $350 million more than expected. But the Caisse is paying for this new price tag. Some think that delayed construction occurring at a time of rising inflation will raise the current estimate.
This year, we're going to have like a 4.5% inflation. In the construction goods, it's even worse. It's like we're talking about 10, 15, 20% increase of the price. All these delays with inflation, we think it's going to be around like $10, $11 billion. And that's for the construction,
Big investments mean big returns. Despite a higher price tag for the Caisse, the pension fund is using the location of the REM stations to their advantage.
The big real estate around all the stations is owned by the Caisse. And so that's going to increase the value of their properties quite a bit.
They will make money on the growth of the value of the asset, which is real estate. So that's some part of the returns they're going to have. We do fund with the Ministry of Transport of Quebec. We fund this REM. And there's a government of Canada who funds that. So your provincial income taxes, your federal income taxes, your municipality taxes, all these revenues are going to be funding the REM. So everything we forgot, everything that's going to go, the overcost, we're going to pay it.
With profits from the REM going into Quebec pension funds, this removes the ability for profits to go towards making public transit free, which is a valuable tactic to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and slow the process of climate change. Do you think that the REM is good for commuters? Or do you think that private interests are plaguing the project and the future of Montreal's transit system? Let us know below in the comments. To keep up to date with future content, subscribe to Local 514's newsletter at cutvmontreal.org and subscribe to Local 514 on YouTube.